play. You see, he's tied up with Nixia from Diamond, but he's done. So she created, and Leza gonna, I think, be continuing to climb that very aggressively, and we'll keep an eye on that throughout the day because I want to see these guys set a name for themselves as they move into the next stage. Zenith, James's team, goes up north. They're gonna have everything around Severity to themselves, and they're hoping the circle goes that way. Now, James says you're secretly hoping for a military circle, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that's a long shot.
He's secretly hoping for a shooting range server ending, that's for sure. Let's hope we get a different one. I'm very doubtful that we're going to see a military game with this kind of plane path here. I'm also a believer in tendencies, and I would like to see, or I'm expecting to see, a central or eastern plane circle here.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't mind something north of prison, and that's what we're going to get. So cool. Yeah. Everything pops up there. It's a big open space. Honestly, every team has not an easy rotation, but a viable rotation here. So I think that this should be a very good circle. It's a great way to sort of set the pace to load up and try to sprint out. Sakura does hold his ground, gets the headshot, but runs out of his bullets. 112 left to go as the chase is on.
No way.
No way. What? Seat switch? Seat switch?
I don't know. That was just too much. Misa might be safe here as well. Copy definitely is going to go out, and they're going to try to get away from that. Maybe some more driving. Silence is going to drive over Nuki.
What?
And he's going to be knocked by Nuki as well with the car. This is crazy. We have a few knocked. An LP has with 2 knocked. They might be able to get 1. Nuki's going to go down. Oh, with that, yep. And they're going to be able to pick up Silers.
So they do decide to try to run the trap, and in doing so, they take some serious damage. He got shot in the car, but ran him over in the process. Now Sophia opens fire on Rahina. He's got 2 players down, but one is definitely resable. The problem is they're out in a field with no cover but the Dacia that he brought with him. If those cars get blown up, please, rotations are screwed, but Sparking gets the nade on Jupstick, who's, I think, by himself right now. So that should be the end of him as well. And the 2 boys left up on the hill for Rahina have to consider just leaving at this point.
Honestly, Cappy might even be savable here. I'm not sure Sophia's going to go for it. He's actually going to try to go for it. What a big play. If they manage to go away with 4 from this and get with some kills, this is a massive fail from Rahina. Silas is going to take down Sakura as well. Oh my god, this is working out so bad for Rahina's office.
That's a good nade, though. It should. Yep. No, not enough. And meanwhile, Sophia is going for the flank. He's going to draw the fire away from the rest of his team. Misa's getting in the car. He was going to leave, and here's him stopping. Goes, I guess I can't do that. As
the drive-by.
Man standing there going for the drive-by. The car going, he drops him down to half in the process. Misa just has to make a run for it, but he gets popped from both sides. He's got to jump out of the car, and that's the end of Rahina. They're eliminated by no age limit, please, in a complete massacre. Whoa, don't. I think it's 4. They got 4 out of that. So this is going to be a great play for them. Meanwhile, Tempest goes head-to-head with Blaze, does manage to get the knock on Apocalypse, but the rest of the Blaze seems to be the rest of Blaze, the warehouses in 2. And now we see Besiktas trying to get an early, quick rotation in. Way taking shots at TBR as they drive by. They did knock the car, and that will be the end of Hazi QQ.
That's Gustav QQ's brother. No, jokes aside. More shots coming in from Quantum. I'm surprised that Scenes didn't lock this down early. Like, this is their home turf. They need to be able to be ready for these kills. Though, ready for this. Besiktas is going to go down. That's Lyran. Kills is going to flush with just 5 HP left, and they're going to survive this. Also be able to pick up Bagdanilla.
Yeah. So a nice little defense there by Quantum. Besiktas still coming despite the chaos. They're still coming in. Carl outside looking to get a little bit of action here as the guys are locked inside. So Quantum does have it down. We want to see C2 RKN goes down as well. Kill still putting in some serious work as he gets the headshot on Carl. And now it's up to Metabee. Play here. Metabee.
Nice shot, Metabee. More shots gonna come in. This is gonna be a fight. He's gonna go for the flush here, maybe. Yeah, just a little underhand to secure the flush. Nice underhand with that. Trying to get the other side around, though. They're pushing him.
Like the free fire there. Ducks back in. He's got 1 HP left and 30 bullets, and it's not gonna be enough. That will be the end of Quantum. I'm sorry, that will be the end of Besiktas as Quantum does take the compound, and I believe will keep 4 up during that process. The West and Quantum, the winners of that last exchange, burnt out cars that spawned as well as burnt out cars that were programmed, all locked in there. They've got vehicles, they've got safety. This was a hard fought earn, and they're coming out looking beautiful afterwards.
this is a very nice. This is one of the areas that actually needed some love, and there has been created a little bit of changes. More trees has been added, and a new former ammunition site with some. So more backup could be coming, or third party could be coming potentially, as you see on the minimap. Smiley face is there as well.
Unfortunate for Crowley, he needed to close that deal right away because right now he's going to get flooded by Tempest as they come up and over. I like that. Nice peek by Clib, utilizing the vault mechanics to the best of its potential. BB, though, pops Tobble in the head with a car 98. Both actions. And now Tempest has to scramble because they know Smiley is coming. Get those nades out, get in and take off Crawley. Crawley with the air burst.
That's a good nade, though.
That was
great thinking there. Shots are coming in from the side. I think they're pretty much aware that it's a solo or double in here, so they're gonna have to push in this now. It's outside the current circle. Circle is closing. They got less than 30 seconds to finish off this fight and clean up and get into the circle. They're gonna leave Tommel behind and do just that.
I think they know that Tommel can't be saved. Beamy does them the kindness of flushing him down so they can now make their move without it. Snip, meanwhile, engages Zen. Smiley face continues to engage on Tempest. Not much they can do. Here is Zen fighting with the guys from Snip as Snip moves downhill. They had a great spot, but when it doesn't get the circle, it's a hard rotation. And Zen has been locked into the spot for a while. Meanwhile, Swedish continues to add to Snip's problems as M-Force is downhill from them. So Snip just can't get a break as they continue to try to move forward outside of the blue line.
Yeah, also Snip trying to push again here, as you see. As you just said, Anonymous, Crowman is going to be taken down by Anonymous here. Finished off as well. This is a nice gatekeep. They actually got a really good circle, as you see in the minimap too. So they're going to be able to play something with that. And
they don't have anywhere to go.
Mainspain jumped out of the car as it was burning. Beamy as well, going in. Not connecting just yet. Oh, this is going to hurt them badly.
Bogdilla, a little brave coming out of that shack right there, but Smiley face is eliminated. You know what? Their fight with Tempest hurt them. It took too long for them to make that rotation. That's the problem with some of those fights, is by the time that it ended, they had nowhere left to go. And kudos to the teams like Quantum who did spread that out. They made sure no one else can take that shack by taking it themselves. Laza goes down to Quantum, who's putting in some serious work in this match. No age limit, please. Doesn't have a lot of good real estate, but they have some real estate as they manage to get inside. Redzi drops the Silas on a nice snipe, but Smash hits the nade from the high ground. He knows where they are. He throws another one in there. They'll just keep raining down. And Sophia doesn't have a lot of options. He's got Crossfire from Quantum below, Athletics above. All he can do is go inside. He dies on the way in there. So those two will very likely bleed out as there's not a lot of help for them. And DA continues to hold the high ground. Quantum continues to hold the low.
Very well held here by DA, honestly. Meanwhile, I also see some fights here, but Tempest, senior as well. Boogie Pixel here alive. Pixel with 3 kills. Boogie in a bit of a rough spot. He's moving around, trying to get something to work. Roth is still standing. Pixel's going to finish off the Anonymous. That is 4 points so far for Tempest.
I could listen to you say Wookie Bookie all day long. As Tempest, who was in a bit of a tough area, manages to get out of that smash by Smiley, only to join Zenith, as you said, in a very tight combined space. And now Snip is showing up, says, hey, why just be 2 when you can be 3? Who will survive this as all 3 teams are right next to each other at half? Someone has to win this spot. It's the only viable position up here. And you can't have 3 teams holding it. So Stealthy throws the nades out, tries to earn his location. Diz getting tagged from other teams on the side. And they can't get a break. They decide to run away. They're like, you know what? It's not worth it. We just can't do this right now. Pixel and Wookie hiding inside the shack house smartly, and Tempest and Zen now have to fight. Roth comes in on the flank. Do up the nade. Flamey's gonna come out, gets it from behind. They didn't know Flamey was there. That'll cost him 1 as he slides back around. Roth now decides to push. He knows exactly where Pixel is. He just needs to get a chance to get a peek on him. Throws the nade to the left side to make sure he knows exactly where he isn't. And that's the push. He trades it out. Flamey goes down. Now Roth has to make a play on Pixel. He gets it. Nice Tempest is out. Roth can push the res quickly because it looks like Snip decided to go in the opposite direction. Nicely played. Stealthy sent it, tried to go towards the middle, but Quantum continues to hold that shack. Sending him there was a big deal. Bogdanalia finally goes down, but the amount of defending that area that he did before that was incredible. Who are you? Also limited in 12th place. Let's jump over to hockey as Entropic tries to figure out how to defend this area against the push from Brute, and that's exactly how you do it as Reggie Beardo ends their chance at winning.
And honestly, five kills in this southeastern position for Entropic, that could actually work for them if they manage to clear out the Wildcats. I really like that. Snip, though, they got pushed so much from M-Force while they were trying to hold the east that they went down to one guy, and Luke is potentially just going to go down to the blue or go down to one of the other guys that is just trying to gatekeep him out of this zone.
He did double back and get his vengeance on Zenith as he killed the last man standing over there. M-Force trying to loot the box. Will he pay the price? Will he pay the price for trying to be out there? He doesn't. Reggie does take a shot in the process. M-Force gets away with the goods from the box and will lock themselves back into their position. They're a bit spread, not a lot of cover. They're going to have to depend on stealth, though, Martin. They don't have a lot of cover. Oh my God, really?
That's a rough circle, both for the Wildcats, for M-Force, and potentially also Entropic. Blaze is sitting inside the shack here. Like they're holding this down. DA is laughing right now. They can potentially push up onto Sparking and take that high ground, but this is a very rough spot. There's a lot of open playable space here, Sophies.
It is. I will say NALP, they got that early kill count. They've been sort of playing for placement since then. They managed to get the circle, and I don't think Digital Athletics pushes him right now. They're in an okay spot, so they sort of leave him as the front shield, which means NALP probably gets, I would say, top 5 out of this, and we'll have a very good game. Nuclear Penguins is eliminated. Wildcats pushing up the hill. They know they have to clean out M-Force before they can make their next play, so She Created will just go right up on top and say, I'm taking the fight to you. The first peek takes him down, but it's a trade. That said, Rafa now has to deal with Rupture. Rupture goes for the spray again, can't quite get it. Rafa goes for the peek. Rupture gets the knockdown. That's 2. He's finished. That'll be 7th place for the Wildcats, but M-Force took a licking in that process. I don't think they get the reses on those 2 players that they lost, so it'll just be dogs sort of moving into the next section.
I'm not sure how much, they did get the kills here. There's nice elimination. They got to make the point with that. We'll see from that. The Double's going to find Sparking. This is a nice push from these guys pushing onto this. They could potentially find some playable space here on the south.
So 6mo looks like he's moving the car around, using it for cover as he flexes, checking the shack before he pushes into it. He knows that Quantum had a man there. Quantum's lighting up the car and saying, nope, that shack is not for you. And it will remain wide open. DA does move down. Blaze in a pretty good spot as well. Quantum in the pole. No one can seem to catch up to them. And Entropic putting in nice shots from the high ground. The problem is they don't have anywhere to go. Once that circle closes, Entropic becomes really kind of a non-factor in terms of the fights to wrap this up. So 6mo just has to stay low, stay out of explosion range, and use his car fort.
Also here, DA shooting still, and this is going to be a rough one with the whole road in the middle. All those ascended, it looked like just wait for the ascended. Honestly, this is a rough time to do it. They should have waited maybe a little bit later until there was more pressure on them, but they're doing it. They lost a few guys. Now Hawkey and Novik is standing here close to this. Hawkey went down next. It's only Novik and Reggie Beardo.
It was a good attempted bounce by Killsteel, by the way. It wasn't quite long enough. Now Novik going to try to figure out where they are. Fire everywhere. Nate underhanded toss over the top, but he's on fire from the Molotov as he burns, baby birds. Tries to get the heal off, but he's surrounded. Nice pop. The underhanded worked out. Killsteel ends up dropping to it. Reggie Beardo making a hard push. Reggie's got to try to defend this. M-Force limited in the meantime. Reggie Beardo clearing, knows the fire's there. He's got to be in one of these rooms in the back. Opens the pre. Gets him down. Quantum is eliminated, and Entropic makes the push into the most fortified spot in this match, and Dave's let them know we're watching you. That car looked like it was on fire for a second. He's going to make his drive behind. He's taking a lot of hits as he does it, and that's the end of him. So Vitralius ends Novik behind the smoke. Thank you for the loot, says his partner, grabs another smoke grenade off of the body. This man has somehow been able to produce. I'm actually really impressed.
I'm not sure how he was able to get so many. Obviously, it's looting from Quantum, but being able to carry that many, he had to have dropped some of his other meds or other stuff that is carrying on with that. Smash, though, looks to be seeing him. Yeah, he's found him. Reggie Beardo's going to go down, and now it's 4 versus 2. Digital Athletics versus Blaze.
4 versus 2. Digital Athletics, we talked about them being the ring bearer. Now it's time for them to be the groom as they look to put the points on the board. 9 kills in the hopper, 2 more in the shack. They've got sights. Blaze doesn't have a lot of options. And you can see Lowell just locking them in there. The circle's in their favor. Time is on their side. They can just wait it out and wait for those headshots. Honestly, if you're Blaze, all you do is I think you here. Oh, he did it. Lull gets the bolty, and the push is on. They know Blaze would rather wait and die to the blue than come out, and they're going to go ahead and try to send it in to clean it up. Opens with the spray. They now know he's behind the shack and not in it. The nades will come out. The push is on. Blaze is surrounded by fire and brimstone as frags go off everywhere. The push is real, and DA gets the 2 to make it 11 kills and a chicken dinner for Digital Athletics.
So well played.